No. Neither we in London nor towns and cities across the country have enough skilled workers to deliver the retrofit revolution. The Independent Green Jobs Task Force estimated the UK needs an increase of 230,000 trained workers by 2030 to retrofit every building in the UK. Element Energy's analysis of my preferred pathway for London to achieve net zero by 2030 estimates that 56,000 jobs will be needed by 2025 just to insulate our homes and install heat pumps and district heating. In 2021, 4,000 people worked on retrofit projects in London, so there's a long way to go. This is a huge challenge, but also an opportunity to create jobs and increase the skills of existing workers, as well as bring new entrants into the sector who are representative of London's diverse communities. London is leading the way in this country. My green skills hubs and academies are helping grow the decarbonisation supply chain needed to support the successful deployment of heat pumps. In 21-22, London's AEB education budget contributed over £33 million towards green skills. Nearly £4 million was spent on technical green skills directly linked to decarbonising. Around £60 million was spent on supporting green skills required by electricians, carpenters and other roles that are seeing increased demand. But the government must play its part too. A long-term national programme of green skills support is best delivered at a regional level to ensure the pipeline of skills meets local need. This requires more devolution of powers to a regional level. Alongside this, I've repeatedly called on the government to commit to a long-term multi-billion-pound funding for domestic and commercial sector building decarbonisation rather than the short-term, single-year, single-measure programmes we have to piece together now. Last week's budget made tentative, slow steps forward with some devolved funding for West Midlands and Greater Manchester combined authorities, not today, but in 2025. But even this is heavily caveated and constrained by the existing arrangements. The devolution we need must include additional skills funding to meet demand. Longer-term programmes have the potential to rapidly build demand, support local supply chains, boost job creation and create market confidence.
Thank you. This sounds like a change in tone from when I asked you about this in November. Then you said to me that this was a chicken and egg problem. What we need is some certainty there are jobs to go to. Now, London Borough's got £18 million from the government, and since we last spoke in February, data showed that they've only managed to retrofit 36 homes. 36. The Chartered Institute of Housing say the problem here is a national retrofit skills shortage. So what made you think back then that there aren't the jobs to go to?
There aren't the jobs to go to. There aren't the employers willing to take on people coming through the skills being provided. So when you compare and contrast America, the Inflation Reduction Plan is a scheme of £370 billion, which has created certainty and created demand. We've got nothing like that in London. And so a young person or an older person entering a course wants to be confident when they finish the course there'll be a job to go to. Employers will only take on more people if they're certain of the work coming through, and that's why it's really important for FE colleges and those in the AB sector to carry on work talking to employers, where employers are saying they're not willing to take on big numbers of people yet because of lack of confidence in the demand for the work.
But in terms of that confidence, London councils have said London needs 110,000 people working in retrofit by 2030. You rightly called for a retrofit revolution, but currently there's only 4,000. That's a huge shortfall. So do you have a target of how many people you're planning to train in retrofit skills per year from now until 2030?
So the way the AEB model works is the providers, when they bid for contracts, look at the demand there is, and they speak to employers as well in relation to demand. What we don't want to do is what's happened in the past, which is some in this sector have people going through doing courses, receiving certificates, and there being no jobs to go to. We want to make sure that there is, tied with the skills being learned, jobs being created that are sustainable going forward. So the AEB sector is very nimble, very dexterous. They can move very quickly. So as long as there is an appetite from employers, they'll carry on moving. So some parts of London, some of the providers have moved to provide these courses, and others will do so once they know there's an appetite.
So on these courses, I'm still waiting for a list of providers you fund that deliver retrofit training. You said you'd send me that in November, but I've still not received it. Moving on, though, you've got a Green Skills Academy quality mark. This went to 6 colleges. They've received £50 million from you. Do you know if any of them offer retrofit or insulation courses? It's
just worth reminding you that often there are other courses which lead you to be able to retrofit. So the label retrofit shouldn't limit your thinking what colleges are doing. So colleges do other stuff, for example, in relation to plumbing, in relation to other electricians. Some of this stuff helps in relation to retrofit. And so as it is, in 21-22, there are 6,000 qualifications being done by 5,000 learners. and that will, I'm sure, increase going forward. That's limited, though, to the heat pumps, solar power, and electrical skills linked with green skills. But there are other courses colleges are doing that leads to these people going on to get jobs in this industry.
This is all good stuff, but you know very well this isn't retrofitting. In your Green Skills Academy quality mark that's gone to 6 colleges, not a single one offers retrofit or installation courses. Capital City don't do it, Harrow and Uxbridge don't do it, London Skills and Development, Newham College, Waltham Forest College, West London College, not a single one offers retrofit or installation courses. And those are your gold standard colleges for green skills.
But this is the point in which you have difficulty accepting the chicken and the egg. The colleges will provide the courses when there's certainty from the employers and students wishing to do so. But it's also worth reminding that the retrofit skills are also skills that overlap from other courses that people can do. And so what students are doing, I suspect, is hedging, doing skills that can lead to other jobs if there's not a demand for employers for retrofit.
I'm out of time, but 36 homes were retrofitted with £18 million. There is demand. We need leadership on this. Thank you, Chair.